Now remember I said I always flip this over because it's easier for me to cut it on the back side. Well, look what they're doing here. It looks like they've got the plastic facing up as they're cutting. And you could do it that way too if you want. Because this is only 2 inches thick. See, as you push down, you don't have much. If you had 3.5 inch thick insulation that you're cutting in a wall, or R19 insulation 5.5 inches thick, you wouldn't want to cut from the paper side. You see what I mean? Because then you have to push down through it. You just score a couple times with a sheetrock knife on the other side, as with the paper facing down, and then just put full force on your knife and run it through. This way you can't really do that. Okay, so that's one way to cut it. They even said you can cut it with scissors if you want. And I got 2 pairs of scissors here. Well, actually, I got regular scissors. Okay, and I got some tin snips. Let's just see if you didn't have a sheetrock knife. And I know this piece is all kind of ratty, kind of folded over on that side, and I know I'm going to be 18 and some odd, okay, from this edge. And so I got a little bit I can play with right over here. Let's just put a pencil mark so I don't overdo it. I'm going to put one at 19, just to be on the safe side. Can this be cut with scissors? Look at that. I guess you could. Look, I'm cutting through the whole thing. Well, that's kind of odd. Well, I'm going to take my tin snips now, and that's cutting too. I can see, it's not cutting as nicely. I can see that I could possibly use the scissors, and I don't know if I want to do that. Well, and I may just, I don't know just yet, because when I flip it over to cut, I think it could work if I flipped it over and measured and stuff. I'm never going to see on here my cut, but on the you know, if I put a straight edge on it and get myself a couple marks on there, I think I could do it that way too. The last thing, you know, when you cut this, you just don't want to cut it too short, because the last thing you want is to have the vinyl. You don't want the vinyl to be too short on your garage door. That's why they give you one little piece here that you could cut some strips or something. If you got off one little place, you could put this on there and kind of tape it on there. Worst case scenario, you're gonna have a little bit of extra of this face cover. When you trim that off, you could, my word, you could use that too, right? And tape it on that way with some shipping tape. Use the clear tape, and you'll be fine doing it that way too. All right. Well, I'm gonna get set up with my plywood and stuff and get ready to start cutting this insulation. Okay, I'm getting ready to cut this. Am I ready to cut? No. This drywall blade is really super dull. The last thing you want to do is start cutting with a dull drywall knife. So I've got to replace this. I can flip it around. Hopefully I've got a sharp end on this side, or I've got some extra ones in here. You want a sharp knife, okay? Don't forget. Can you believe it? I don't believe what I just saw. Look at that. I broke that. That fits in there, and that adjusts. That's so you can slide that in and out. I was having a hard time getting it out of there, and I hadn't replaced the blade for a while, and I think the tray bent a little bit, and I tried to bend it back with a pair of pliers, and I thought, you know, I hope I don't bend it too much, and I don't want to break it. I don't think I'll break it, and right after that, I broke it. This thing is probably, this has been with me probably for, I don't know, 35 years. They don't wear out if you take care of them. But I've got it so I can still cut with it. I got to be careful with it, because now when I put it in in my bag, I got to remember that it's always going to be open. And you know, after this, I'll have to go to the store and break down and get another one. I think I might actually have another one of these upstairs, but I'll have to be careful with that. Now, and incidentally, they do sell these at the store where this blade always sticks out. Lots of drywallers like to use that because they don't like to slide it back and forth, because then after a while, when they're cutting drywall, this might slide in a little bit or whatever, and that's the people who use it not so that you can retract it. Okay, but for the every average Joe, get the retractable ones. You'll be glad you did, because every time I use this, when I get done cutting with it, I retract it. Okay, for safety, before I put it in my nail bag. Next time I need it, slide it out again, back and forth. I don't know how many times this thing has gone back and forth. It's well been worth it, let me tell you. Now I've got to get another one. Well, I just happen to have some plywood that's about 5 feet tall, 60 inches. And I've already checked the edges. I cut these down off of a big piece of plywood that I had for a countertop, and I wasn't going to use it anymore. And instead of throwing this stuff away, I thought I'll just rip it for shelf material later on. Maybe I could use it up in the attic or somewhere like that. And I know this piece here, I've already eyeballed it. This is my straight edge right here on this side. And so I can use this for my straight edge. Okay? And so that's probably what I'll do for the straight edge. I'm going to set you up kind of over this direction. And I've got my, I'm going to cut a few different ways. Okay, this one here, I know I've got to cut this little strip off there. Okay, I'm going to flip it over like that. And let's just see what I'm going to do here. Actually, maybe I should get you, I think I'll get you situated over here. See, now I've got to move that light. Hey, I do everything on the fly, man. Okay, how's that? Can you still see that okay? Let's see. Yeah, you can see that. Okay. And so this piece here, I know if I measure over 18 3/8. So see, this edge is right on the plastic. So if I measure over 18 3/8 and just put a mark in the insulation like that, okay? 18 3/8. That's about 18 1/2. Okay. Go like that. And we'll get a mark down here at 18 3/8. Like that. See? Okay. Those are my marks. And that's all I need for my straight edge. Now I can put my straight edge down there. And on this one here, this one I'm going to be right on the edge. And this one I'm going to be off towards this way, just a hair. Okay. And see, I'm not going to see my line from the other side, but I think it's going to be fine. Okay? Let's just see how we do. Go press it all the way down in there now. Man. even with this, I can see that I might want to cut it on the front side after all. You know, I just might. It's not going as good as I thought it would. And see if I do it on the other side, I'll be able to see my front line, and I can just do it right from there, I think, and then go down. It might actually work better. I used to always cut it like that for fitting inside walls and things like that. Okay, but on this stuff, I may have to do it a different way. I'm always up to learning new things. Okay, now I'm going to measure that. Oh, good Lord. Oh, 18 1/4. And 18 1/4, wow. That worked out actually pretty good. I'm right at 18 1/4, and that'll work. Okay? That will work. 18 1/4. Remember I measured it at 18 3/8, but 18 1/4 was what I really wanted. Okay? Well, let's do. I'm gonna do this one from the face, like they were telling us. Okay? And I'm gonna measure. I'm gonna still make it. I'm gonna try 18 3/8 ish, right there. And I'm gonna do it in the middle too, because now I can see it. See? And measured from the plastic, not from the insulation. Okay. And my sheetrock knife's not really working too well. It's kind of shoving in, and yeah, the things that I have to do. Now let me try the metal stud. I don't think it really matters. I can still use my plywood. I'm going to use the metal stud this time. Okay. I just want to concentrate on that plastic, right? Because that's what's going to show. And my knife is a nice sharp one. And I may have to just be careful as I go. That's my first pass, okay? And now once I know that that's straight and it's not going to go anywhere, and that my plastic is in fact cut, then I can go, see, it's all cut now. Now I can go down, all the way down. This piece of track is actually working pretty good. You know, if you do, and see if you get any boo-boos, see, we've got this extra white that I could trim off if I had to. Okay? I know that's right on my line, isn't it? I might have just learned something on there, but like I say, if I was cutting R13, R11 insulation, R19 insulation, even R22, R29, 9. I'd flip it up. I'd flip it around. I'd flip it around on the other side, because with real, if you can imagine real thick insulation, if this piece was really super thick, I would measure and I would figure out what I want. 14, 14, and then I go 14, 14, and then I would score this, make a line, and then I would go a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, and then I would just cut right on down there. I wouldn't even need a straight edge on this side. Like if I was fitting it in a 2x4 wall or ceiling joist or something like that. You see what I mean? Okay, so now I'm going to look at this one. This one's got all kinds of folds over on this side. So I'm going to make that over there, like that. And I'm going to go 18 3/8 again. Are you getting all this? I think you are. Measure from the plastic, 18 3/8. I'm just going over the 18 1/4 mark, just a hair, just a hair. You know, I could have made it 18 1/4. 18 3/8 is going to work too. Okay, 18 3/8. Measure twice, cut once, right? Okay. Now I can see my marks. Let's try the piece of plywood. Let's say you don't have the track, you got just the plywood. Okay? Make sure it's a straight piece of plywood. The cut is the factory edge. The thing with this is after a while you may start marking up your factory edge piece. You know what I mean? But that looks pretty good. Right there. Okay. Get your pressure on there so it's not going to move. Get my sheetrock knife. And I'm just going to, from this edge, I can go that way. Now, I can hold that. And I'm just concentrating on getting through the plastic first. Okay. Okay. There. Get yourself all the way through. Looks like I'm good. Now, I can go all the way down. Go. Next piece. And let's see how I did. Plywood. Right on my pencil mark. You don't see my pencil mark there, but I was right on it. I'm at 18 3/8. And I'm right there at 18 3/8 with the plastic. Okay? There. I got 3 down. 3 down, 5. 5 more to go.